spell work problem right here, we were supposed to graph this equation in your calculator. If you graphed it in your calculator already, you should have noticed where it crossed the x-axis. What did you guys find out? Where did it cross the x-axis? -5 and 1? Okay. Yeah, we're going to do this right here. Y equals x squared. What was the middle term? Plus 4x? Minus 5. And if I hit zoom 6 for a standard window, I can look at this and I can see it crosses the x-axis right here at +1 and right here at -5. Everybody got that? Okay, and we're going to see how this relates later to the solution right here, but that's where it crosses the x-axis. This one's actually one that is pretty easy to do by graphing because it crosses right at an integer. 1 is an integer, -5 is an integer. But if it crosses somewhere in between, like 2 integers, then it's hard to tell exactly. But this is one you can solve by graphing. Okay? Now, right here, you guys, the third thing we're supposed to do is find the discriminant. How many of you guys remember what the discriminant was? That's right, Savannah. It's the b squared minus 4ac, part of the quadratic formula. It's not the whole quadratic formula. How many of you guys solved the whole quadratic formula? I know lots of you did. Okay. You don't need to do that. All you have to do is find the discriminant. Okay? So the discriminant, I have to put in b, a, and c. I got to know what b, a, and c are. What is b? B is 4, right? There's b. What is a? A is 1. It's the number in front of x squared, which there's no number written, but we can assume that it's 1. And what's c? That's c, right? C is the -5. Okay, so all I do is I plug them in. I go 4 squared minus 4 times 1 times -5. And all I have to do is type that directly into my calculator. And what did you guys get? 36. How many of you guys got 36 for the discriminant before I did it? Okay, good. All right, now, I'm going to add one more question to this bell work. Let's, well, 4 squared is 16. And 4 times 1 times -5 is a -20. What happens when you minus a negative number? You add, right? 16 plus 20 is 36. Got it? Okay, I'm going to add one question to this. Question 4. Everybody write question 4 down. Or at least write down its answer. Let's solve this using the quadratic. Solve using the quadratic formula. Okay? We're going to solve using the quadratic formula. If you solve using the quadratic formula, for those of you that weren't here, the quadratic formula is -b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. And we learned a song. Did we learn it last time or 2 times ago?
Yeah, we learned it.
Did we learn it yesterday? We're going to... No, it wasn't that good. All right. All right. Let's sing it right now. Everybody ready? Okay. X equals -b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. Okay. That's it. Anybody want to volunteer to come up and sing today? Yeah. All right, Natalie and Jessica are up right here. Do you guys want the microphone so you can listen to yourselves later on? No? Okay. All right. Hey. Shh, 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 shh. Okay, go ahead.
X equals -b plus or minus the square
All right, you guys get to leave early today. Good job. All right, here we go. Now, the nice thing about this, you guys, we've already figured out the discriminant, right? So we're halfway through this. Now what we have to do is we have to put in negative b. Well, negative b is the opposite of b. Well, what is b? What is b, Savannah? Okay, and what's the opposite of 4? Negative 4. And so that's what we mean by negative b. We already know that the discriminant, the b squared minus 4ac, is 36. We just figured that out, right? That makes our problem really easy. And 2 times a, what is a? A is 1, so 2 times 1 is 2. Now, you guys guess what? 36 is a perfect square. Okay, 36 is a perfect square. So, oh, by the way, one of the things we learned yesterday, Gabe, is that when the discriminant is positive, what kind of solutions are we going to get? 2 real solutions, right? So I'm going to get 2 real solutions. Now, the square root of 36 is a perfect square. What is the square root of 36, everybody? 6. So negative 4 plus or minus 6 all over 2. Now, this is how you get the 2 answers. Is everybody ready for this? You got to watch this part. Are we ready? Negative 4 plus 6 divided by 2 is going to be our first answer. Negative 4 plus 6 divided by 2. And our other answer is going to be negative 4 minus 6 divided by 2. That's how you get 2 answers out of this. You have that plus and minus. Well, what is negative 4 plus 6, everybody? It's 2. And 2 divided by 2 is 1. So my first answer is 1. Why isn't it negative? Remember, the graph went through positive 1. Okay. And negative 4 minus 6 is what, everybody? It's negative 10. Divided by 2 is what, everybody? Negative 5. There's my other solution. You guys, when you graph this on your calculator, where did it cross the x-axis? 1 and negative 5. There's your solutions right there. Okay? So you see that they provide you the same solutions no matter whether you use a quadratic formula or you do it by graphing. Guess what other way we could have done this problem? Anthony, which other way could have we done this problem? Huh? Say that again, Savannah, I didn't hear you. What? We could complete the square. However, that's a long process. And we use the quadratic formula to do that. Because, I mean, we completed the square in the quadratic formula. Do you remember that? And we can use the quadratic formula to plug those numbers in. It's like completing the square, and it's easier and faster. Because the other method, this is factorable. Are there 2 numbers you can times together and get negative 5 and add together and get 4? What 2 numbers can you add together and get negative 5 and add together? Positive 5 and negative 1, right? Because look, this is going to be factored to be positive 5 and negative 1. If you go 5 times negative 1, you get negative 5. And if you add 5 plus negative 1, you get positive 4. And if you set each one of these factors equal to 0 and solve those equations, I would add 1 to both sides of this, and I get positive 1. I would minus 5 on both sides of this one, I would get negative 5. So there is another way that we could have solved this problem because it's factorable. Okay? Got it? All right. You guys, today we're going to make a foldable, but before we do that, we're going to correct the test.